We're fine. We're all fine here now. How are you? Here we are back with another issue of the Millennium Falcon build. This is issue 49, and let's go ahead and take a look. So we have the Acclimator class assault ship. So looks like a mini Star Destroyer. So we have that. Those were the ones that they could land on planets, or well, all of them could land, but this was the main one that they would land on planets and stuff. So then we get to visit Dathomir. So that one should be interesting. Hopefully, those of you that have watched Clone Wars and Rebels would be familiar with Dathomir. If you read some of the Legacy books, they talked about Dathomir, but it's a little bit different, I believe. Tractor beams. We're going to learn about some tractor beams, so that'd be kind of cool. And our next parts. So let's go ahead and get these parts out. We need parts for issue 49. Here we go. And we have some hull plating. We have some of that. We have some of this. And some more of those. Alright, so we have some screws. We have some framework. I'm going to have to find a spot to put this framework. And this hull plating. We have some screws. We know where we can put those. Yep. And more black screws. And some more of these. Get those all set off to the side. And then we have some detail parts. So, they're, as they call them, plant-on details. So let's go ahead and get into this issue. Alright, adding on some plant-on details. So, this one is going to require these parts here, as well as some of these parts. So those parts there, looks like. Alright. I think that's it. Yeah, it says from issues 44 and 45. And those are the only other parts that it talks about. So, let's go ahead. We'll set these off to the side. So we're going to have to get the lower hull back so we can get these details put on. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let me set that up here. And what we'll do is let's go ahead and open these up so we can take off the pieces that we need, get them cleaned up, and then we'll worry about getting them put on. All right, so we have all of our parts here. I am going to go give these a wash, so that way we don't have to worry about them when we go to paint. And I'll see you guys back here in a moment. All right, here we are. We're back, and we are ready to start putting some of these pieces on. There we go. All right, so that is the last of all the parts that are going to be put on this time. So it's got this nice little blurb down here. These are the parts that will be left on the sprues. Store them carefully until they are needed. Some of the details will not be used until you fit the upper laser turret in a much later stage of the build. So there's similar parts to these that are going to go on the upper laser turret and stuff like that. So those won't get put on until then. So a lot of these will be sitting around for a while. Yeah, and then the rest of this is talking more about the painting and all that kind of stuff. So not a whole lot going on there. I do want to show some of the additional work that I've been doing on those crates and the cargo piece. So check that out here and we'll come back and finish this up. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are working on our little cargo hover sled and the crates for it. So we've got everything pretty much done. So here's the sled itself. And I've just got a little bit of sanding left to do on it. I've worked a little bit off camera, mostly because it's tedious and that kind of stuff, but nothing major. Just trying to get it cleaned up pretty well. And then here's the barrel. I'm hoping that after I paint it, it comes out a little bit better. I mean, it looks pretty rough now. And what I did was I took this round file and I kind of went along, say, the bottom here to file some of this down, give it a little bit more profile and that kind of thing. And so hopefully that helps. So we got that. These boxes, I went ahead and did the tops here and all that kind of stuff. So these are all done as far as the tops go. And then what I did was I just kind of, I don't know if you can tell, I kind of took these out of 45 and just kind of sand them a couple times just to knock the sharp corners off. And so that way it wouldn't be like perfectly square. Give it a little bit more kind of different type of shape, like not 100% square. But so what I want to do now is we're going to see about putting at least one band around these. All right. I think I'm going to call that good. So what I'll do is I'm not even going to putty those. I like the way they came out. Nice and simple. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and paint these. I just want to see. I have to figure out something to be able to paint these. They'll put some tape around these or something and stick it up in there because I don't really want to paint my hemostats, right? But I need to be able to hold this. So I'll get that figured out. This will be simple enough. Just stick it on the on some tape and call it good. So I will do that, and then when we come back, I'll have them at least in base coat, and because I think I want to kind of dirty them up and that kind of stuff. So that'll be the last little bit, other than putting it all together. Um, and we'll do all that when we come back. See you guys in a moment. All right, so we have everything painted. Let me try to get this propped up there so you can see that. Um, we've got our two boxes, our little barrel, and our little hover sled thing. And now we're going to try to paint it up. So I think I'm going to start off with this gunship gray as a darker color, and I'm going to try to dry brush that to the point that that's way too much paint for what I need, but that's okay. I'm going to try to dry brush that very lightly, and hopefully that will give me an opportunity to kind of darken this up and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to use this wide brush just because. And again, this is a dry brush, so we're knocking off almost all of it. And we're just going to start with this, and I'm just going to go with some swirls. There we go. All right, there's that. Now I need a couple detail touches. So um, the first detail I'm going to do is I need some buttons. And so we're going to get some red. Let's go get ourselves a new palette out here. And we are not going to need much red. In fact, I'm not even going to put any on the palette. I don't even know why I got it out. I'm just going to take some right off of here. We'll just put one little drop. There we go. Of course, now I got brown paint all over me. There we go. All right. So I just want, this is going to be difficult. I just want a couple of buttons. All right, we'll put some on either side. There's some buttons, and I want some silver buttons as well. So, because I don't want to run off and go wash my brush, we're going to see if we can do that with a micro brush. And that's going to be more than enough. And I think we won't do a silver buttons. What we'll do is we'll do like a silver kind of panel type of thing. And I'll just make it the same all the way around. Well, that's going to be easier said than done. There we go. The painting is done. All right, all the painting's done. Now it's time to get these arranged in something that simulates how I would want these on here. So a lot depends on which side is facing up or forward. So I'm thinking I'll put it something like this, which I'll show you after it gets glued on. There we go. I will show that in more detail when we come back. And while we're waiting for that to dry, I'll wash these. Okay, so here we are. You might be able to see it. On this one, I added 2 little spots of silver to act as hinges. And I did the same thing on this end here on this one. You can just barely see it. But it's all glued down. And this will be my little hover sled. And it is going, I think I've added 2 strips. You can see them 2 strips here on the bottom to make it sit up. I think I'm going to add a couple more, and then I'll get that mounted in there, and I'll show you that mounted at a later time. But I can show you that now. Let me do that real quick. So there we go. That's what it's going to look like in there. I don't think it necessarily looks out of place or anything. I think it actually looks pretty good. We can even push it back towards the wall a little bit. So that's what it would look like. If we look down the hallway there. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? You guys like that? It's a nice little project, and I have to say I'm pretty happy with the results. So let me know what you think. All right. All right. So we got a lot accomplished. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that additional cargo crate stuff. I think it came out really, really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. And so it's going to give me a little bit of encouragement to be able to do some of the stuff actually in the cargo hold. So look for some of that on some of the smaller videos where I'll be doing some of that work as some filler and stuff. So here we are. This is what we got in issue 49, not what we did. In issue 50, we're going to be getting some more of the same. So more framework, more hull plating, another piece of the pie, which we already have. So I'll be interested to see what we're going to be working on down there in issue 50. So this concludes this issue. I want to thank everybody for watching, and may the force be with you always.